I used to build models as a child, flying models made out of balsa and paper, and flew those a lot, and eventually I decided to build myself my own little aeroplane to fly properly. The first aeroplane I built, I started as a school child. When I was 14, I bought a set of drawings. It was just like basically building a big model aeroplane. My parents were extremely supportive and allowed me some space to build it in their house. I also did some of it at school. I finally assembled it on an airstrip on a farm. That was several years later, once I'd finished school and finished university and had the time and the money to finish it. I also, of course, had to learn to fly in the meantime, get my pilot's license, finally get the aircraft finished and inspected, and then was able to fly it. So my aeroplane is a 1933 Gypsy Moth. It's a two-seat wood and fabric biplane powered by a Gypsy Major engine, 135 horsepower. It's very simple in its construction and its design. It doesn't have any brakes. It doesn't have a starter motor. You have to use chocks and to hand swing the propeller to get it started. It flies at about 100 miles an hour, and its fuel capacity enables you to fly for 2 to 3 hours at a time. So in 2013 I was diagnosed with leukemia. It was a very serious illness, with not a huge success rate. I had to have a bone marrow transplant, and I was in hospital for a considerable amount of time. I was out of action for best part of 2 years. During that time I was in the middle of restoring my Moth. Having that project to focus on was an incredible tonic for me. It was almost like occupational therapy. I was even found to be making small wing rib components in my hospital bedroom from time to time with some tools that were smuggled in by my wife. My family get involved in my flying too. They're not so enthusiastic about it as I am, but they're very supportive. They've all helped me put the aeroplane together when I've come to assemble it, when I first finished it. They sometimes come flying with me. My wife has recently discovered a great travel sickness pill which enables her to come flying. So this last summer she's been flying with me quite a lot. We've been on some great little adventures together. So yeah, they get involved. The thing I really enjoy about flying the aeroplanes is the freedom. I have a lot of fun flying with colleagues. I do display flying with a formation display team, so we have a lot of fun together. It's a bit like flying the Red Arrows, but in sort of 1930s style. I find flying the aeroplane completely absorbing. So if I've had a stressful week, it's great to go flying because I'm completely focused on flying. I'm concentrating on the aeroplane, what it's doing, making sure the engine's running properly. Particularly doing the air show work when I'm flying in formations with my colleagues. That is completely absorbing, requires a great amount of concentration. So definitely flying is a great tonic. I've flown the aircraft all around the UK, but I've also flown it across the continent, and the furthest that I've flown it to is Switzerland. It takes about 7 hours flying to get to Switzerland, but obviously you can't do that all in one hop. You have to stop to clear customs the other side of the channel. You have to stop and refuel from time to time. And to be perfectly honest, more than a couple of hours sat in a windy old aeroplane is more than anyone wants anyway. So it's nice to land and stretch your legs and have a bit of a break. I've been invited to Switzerland a couple of times now. Last year I went to take part in an air display in the Swiss Alps at an old Swiss Air Force base. I went the year before that to a fly-in that I've been invited to celebrate a friend's birthday, and previous time I went to go and collect an award for my aeroplane. So I was very honoured to receive an award in 2017 from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, what they consider to be the best restored aircraft in the world that year.